Hello and welcome. My name is Aisha and I haven't done this in a while, so I'm so excited that you're joining me for just a relatively short little movement magic. Nice and easy, gentle movements, lots of deep, nourishing breathing, and exploring some subtle sensations and stillness. So let's just get started in a child's pose. So not going to need any props for this unless you want. If you do have a bolster, you can take it underneath your chest for child's pose, but just in some sort of way, bringing your feet together, taking your knees apart, and then stretching your arms forward. And then eventually maybe getting your forehead onto the ground. Take a few nourishing breaths here. Take at least one more big and full breath cycle here, all the way in, as well as all the way out. And then stay in your child's pose and simply walk your hands over to one side, whichever side, so that you start getting longer through the other side. And stay here for just 1 or 2 or maybe even 3 breaths, depending on how long you're breathing. Nice and easy, slide or walk those hands back through center and then over towards the other side. We'll again take just 1 to 3 full breath cycles. And then coming back through center, popping up on all fours, bring your knees back together. So you're just in a tabletop position here. Don't overthink it. And then we'll find a little cat-cow here. So I'm going to move my spine downwards so that the belly pops towards the floor, but the heart and the nose lifts. And then I'm going to curl the spine up towards the ceiling, and the nose are going to point towards the belly button. Keep moving here back and forth. And if you want to add your breath, it's exhale as you make this cat shape. And inhale as you find your cow shape. Good. Let whatever part of breath is next just take you into a neutral spine. And we'll take our left hand behind the head. And we're going to inhale, twist the left hand up into the sky, armpit, and elbow. And then exhale, twist close so that the elbow comes sort of underneath the armpit. Inhale, open. And exhale, close. Keep going. Nice. Absolutely no rush. But the next time your elbow starts to point downwards, unwind that left arm and thread it underneath the right arm and armpit and land on your cheek in a twist. We call this thread the needle. Take a few breaths here. Before we leave this pose, I invite you to maybe wiggle around a little bit. A little shake of the tail usually feels really good here. Good. No rush. Eventually you'll come back through center. And we'll just switch sides, so you can stay where you are. I just want you to see me in profile here. You take the hand behind the head, the other hand, I cued left, now I cue right. And it's just going to move up and down into a closed twist and then an open twist. It's always just important to breathe. You don't have to worry so much about where you inhale and where you exhale. But if you like a good rhythm, then inhale to open up and exhale to close it up. Let's do about 1 or 2 more. And then no rush. The next time your hand is pointing or your elbow is pointing down, unwind the arm and thread the needle. And breathe. Come back through center and give yourself a little wiggle. Close your eyes and even consider allowing the body to move completely organically, like it's doing what it wants to do, and there are no thought processes involved. No right, no wrong, just a few more breaths, moving around and leaning into things that just feel really, really good. Nice. Let's all meet in just relative stillness on all fours. I'm personally going to walk my hands just a tiny bit forward. We are going to find a cobra to a child's pose here. We're going to inhale, drop the hips forward, lift the nose, lift the heart. And exhale, sit your butt towards your heels. Come up, hips forward and down, heart up. Then press back, fold over yourself, butt to heels. Keep going, keep breathing. Good. Absolutely no rush, but the next time you land in your what we call high cobra, stay there for a little bit and maybe wiggle your tail. Consider looking over one shoulder and then looking up over the other shoulder. Looking over one shoulder and looking over the other shoulder. Notice your ribs relationships with your hips here. Let's do it one more time. The hips are moving too. Awesome. Let's come back through center and let's find that child's pose again. So take your feet together and knees a little bit apart. And then this time I invite you to come off your wrists. It'll probably feel kind of nice. And sweep your hands behind you. Either forehead or you can come onto one cheek, whichever you prefer. Take a few delicious breaths here. And if you did choose one cheek to the side, then go ahead and switch sides right about now. Let's take one big breath together all the way in. And all the way out. Very good. Go ahead and come back up onto all fours. And this time we'll come into a downward facing dog. So go ahead and come up, tuck your toes, and lift your booty to the sky. Don't overthink this either. Some dogs are short, some are long, some are wide, and some are narrow. Maybe step around a little bit to just see what feels right today. Good. We'll just take a few breaths here. Before we leave our down dog, maybe a little shake of the tail would feel nice. Good. And then let's come down and into a seat. If you face me and I face you, it'll be a little bit easier. And then you're just going to take one foot, whichever foot you want in, so that you're bending in the knee and the foot comes to the inside of the other thigh. And then you're going to put a little bit of rotation so that your torso is facing your extended leg. And then you're just going to keep on breathing nice and gentle, and you're going to start leaning towards those toes. If you want to reach your arms and grab a hold onto your calf, shin, ankle, or foot, you can. Let's take a few more deep breaths here. One more big, nourishing, and full breath cycle here. Nice and easy, come on up. Take your legs nice and long just in front of you and give them a good shake. We'll move to the other side, whichever side you didn't do. So reach the opposite leg out and in. And then we'll twist our torso over our extended leg and just nice and easy begin to fold over your leg. And then, wow, this side's quite different for me. No judgment. I'm just going to stay where it feels good, and I suggest you do too. Keep breathing. Let's take about one or so more deep, sweet, full breath cycles here. Nice and easy. Come on up. And then I'll just have us sit in any way you like. You can shake out your legs first, and then you can even stay with your legs long, or you can fold them in underneath you, or do whatever. And we'll just take a quick little Brahma Mudra here, just a few movements of the head. Today we'll tilt the head nose forward in space, and then maybe take the hands behind your head for a little added extra weight and stretch. And and then lift your head back up. And then with or without the hands, if you have the hands with you, then slide them down towards your neck-ish. And then draw your nose up into the sky. So you can also totally just have your hands down for this one. That's it. Nice and easy. If you find it hard to come up from here, totally get it. Sometimes scrunching the shoulders up gives you like a little boost to come up from that position, because it's kind of a deep back bend in the neck. And then let's take a nice twist. So we're going to point our nose to one side, whichever side works for you. Shoulders are still facing forward. That makes it a twist through the neck rather than the rest of the spine. We've already twisted the rest of the spine pretty good. Let's come back through center. And let's take it to the other side. Keep breathing. Keep those shoulders pointed forward. Maybe through that last exhale, you're going to twist a little deeper. Nice and easy. Loosen up and come back through center. And we'll find our side stretch for the spine as well, or for the cervical spine. So either direction, you'll draw one ear to the shoulder. And then, yeah, do try to make it ear to shoulder rather than shoulder to ear, just because it'll be a little bit more of the stretch in the throat and the neck. Good. I want to give you a trick from coming out of this. Can feel a little intense as well. If you lean over to the other side, your head can almost just come back through center very, very, almost effortlessly. And then you can lean nice and easy over to the other side. Notice if you keep leaning to that same side, and then just come back through the rest of the spine. So from the tail to the shoulders, making them even or parallel with the ground, so that you're just really finding a deep bend through the throat and the neck. Good. And then again, if you want to come back in a really easy way, then shift your weight over towards the opposite side of that you're bending, and just kind of let gravity do its thing, nice and easy. All right. That's it. Let's close our eyes to just seal in all the goodness for a seated samadstitihi. That just means that we're staying in an equal pose and letting the nervous system marinate in all the good stuff that happened. So hands together at the heart. Close your eyes if possible. Allow your breath to be natural. And just for a moment, notice yourself. Begin to breathe a little deeper. Rub your palms together. Once you've got a good amount of heat and friction in between your hands, then cup your face and just stay. When you're ready, release your hands and softly, with gratitude, blink open your eyes. Hari Om, Om Shanti, and Namaste.